My name is Jianhui from Chongqing University of Technology. My presentation title is Garlic-derived exons like nanoparticles attenuate the inflammation in wet adipose tissues and improve the liver dysfunction in HFD-fed mouse. Daily exposure of humans to nanoparticles from edible plants is inevitable. But whether edible plant-derived nanoparticles are beneficial to our health keeps to be explored. Identification of active constituents from edible plants is crucial to understand the impact of food on health, wellness, and disease development. Until now, most research about the pharmacological properties of edible plants focus on vitamins, sterols, polyphenols, and fibrous. Exons are nano-sized particles surrounded by a lipid bilayer membrane. The recent evidence indicates that, similar to the exons secreted by mammalian cells, edible plant-derived exons can serve as extracellular messenger to mediate cell-to-cell communication, even function in interspecies communications through their cargoes, such as microRNA, lipids, and proteins. In this study, we prepared and screened 20 edible plant-derived exons like nanoparticles. In LPS-treated macrophages, the production of nitrogen oxide was increased, and the garlic-derived exons, but not the other nanoparticles, significantly reduce the content of nitrogen oxide. We also observed that garlic-derived exons inhibit the nitrogen oxide production and increase the cell viability of LPS-treated macrophages. We determined the size distribution and the surface data potential of organic exons. The data revealed that the size distribution of organic exons was in range of 100 to 300 nanometer, with a mean diameter of 160 nanometer. The surface zeta potential is -8 millivolt. Transmission electric microscope analysis showed that the garlic exons like nanoparticles appeared as individual exons like nanoparticles with several shaped morphology. It has been reported that exons usually contain RNA, proteins, and lipids. In this study, our results from aggregate scale showed that there were a lot of RNA in garlic exons, and most of them are small-sized RNA. Protein of garlic exons range wild in mass from 10 to 75 kD. TLC analysis revealed that garlic exons contained a series of lipids. All these results demonstrate that garlic exons like nanoparticles used in this study appear as exons-like characteristics and containing RNA, protein, and lipids. Before determining the effect of organic exons on the level of inflammatory cytokines, we assessed the uptake of organic exons with DIO in macrophages, and the results demonstrate that organic exons could be taken up by macrophages, and a lot of labeled exons appeared in the cytoplasm after incubated for 12 hours. The results from qRT-PCR assay indicated that treatment with LPS for 24 hours induced a remarkable increase of M1 pro-inflammatory cytokines, including TNF-alpha, IL-1 beta, IL-6, inos, MCP1, and 6-CL10. But incubation with GALIC exons prevent the effect of LPS on these pro-inflammatory cytokines. Moreover, by determining the effect of GALIC exons on M2 anti-inflammatory cytokines, such as IL-10, CD206, agonist, and MGL1, our data results that treatment with LPS induced the increase of IL-10, CD206, agonist 1, and MGL1, and the pre-incubation with GALIC exons further potentiate the role of LPS in these anti-inflammatory cytokines in macrophages. Immunofluorescence staining also confirmed that the role of GALIC exons on the expression of inos and agonist in LPS-treated macrophages. We also found that GALIC exons also increase the content of mitochondria in LPS-treated macrophages. So here is the conclusion one. GALIC exons shows an interesting characteristics of anti-inflammation in vitro, which might affect the polarization of M1 to M2 phenotype. Before exploring the effect of GALIC exons on HFD-feeding mouse, we test the uptake and the distribution of GALIC exons. The results showed that GALIC exons can be taken up by the mouse and distributed into the liver and the small intestine. Although the body weight and the food intake had a low significant change in HFD-fed mouse after administered with GALIC exons. But in this study, we found that GALIC exons improved the insulin resistance in HFD-fed mouse. And apparent decreased the fasting glucose and serum insulin. We also found that GALIC exons also attenuated the accumulation of macrophage into the adipose tissues. Opposite is considered a state of chronic and low-grade inflammation, which is mainly characterized by adipocytes, hypertrophy, and the accumulation of macrophages in wide adipose tissues. Herein, we found that HFD induced an evident accumulation of macrophage in wide adipose tissues, and administration with GALIC exons reversed the effect of HFD in mice. We also observed that morphology of adipocytes in GALIC exons treated HFD mouse, and the E staining results indicated that HFD feeding induced evident hypertrophy of adipocytes in EWAT. But after administrated with GALIC exons for 4 weeks, the size of adipocytes was decreased significantly. Additionally, we determined the MRI level of M1 and the M2 phenotype cytokines in EWAT. The data indicated that feeding with HFD induced the increase of MRI, including TF-alpha, IL-1 beta, IL-6, and eNOS and MCP-1. But administration with garlic exons decreased these cytokines. Treatment with garlic exons also increased the level of CD026, arginase 1, and YM1. Meanwhile, the results from immunohistochemistry confirmed that HFD induced a significant increase on the expression of eNOS and the administration of garlic exons. Remarkable prevent the role of HFD on the expression of eNOS and arginase. So here's the conclusion two. Garlic exons attenuate the inflammation response in EWAT of HFD fed mouse by affecting the expression of M1 and M2 inflammatory cytokines. In this study, we found that accompanied with the decrease of liver weight, garlic exons also attenuate the inflammation response in the liver of HFD fed mouse by decreased TF-alpha, IL-1 beta, and IL-6. At the same time, we noted that administration with garlic exons decreased the TC and ASLT, increased HDLC and in the serum of HFD fed mouse. Moreover, H and E staining indicated that there were a lot of vacuoles in the liver of HFD mouse, but garlic exons administration prevented this phenomenon of vacuole. Furthermore, garlic exons supplementation also significantly attenuates the accumulation of lipid droplets in the liver of HFD fed mouse. To investigate the mechanism of garlic exons in the prevent the accumulation of lipid droplets, we determined the expression of the gene associated with the fatty acid biosynthesis. The results demonstrated that administration of garlic exons decreased the MRI level, including FAS, ACC1. They also decreased the protein levels, including ACC1 and the FAS. So here's the conclusion three. Garlic exons improved the abnormality of lipid metabolism and prevent the inflammation response in the liver of HFD fed mouse. Although it's a controversial issue as whether the number of macrophage migrating to liver is increased or not in HFD-induced mouse model of opposites. But more studies showed that the infiltration of monocytes and the macrophage into the liver is an important pathologic features in the patients of opposites, and the inhibition of inflammatory cytokine secretion by macrophage is benefit to opposite. Here, we cultured the L2 human normal liver cells with a conditional medium from LPS treated different THP1 macrophage and then determined the expression of inflammatory cytokines. The results showed that treatment with a conditional medium induced a significant increase, including TNF-alpha, IL-1 beta, and IL-6. But in the presence of garlic exons, the level of TNF-alpha, IL-1 beta, and IL-6 decreased. Additionally, we investigate the effect of conditional medium on the accumulation of lipid droplets in oligoacide incubated L2 cells with oil red staining. Data indicated that co-culture with conditional medium accelerates the development of lipid droplets, but in the garlic exons treated conditional medium, the accumulation of lipid droplets was prevented. Similarly, Q-RT-PCR assay data indicated that treatment with conditional medium from LPS-treated macrophages induced the expression of FAS and ACC1. But the conditional medium from garlic exons-treated macrophages remarkably inhibit the expression of FAS and ACC1. So here's the summary. 1. Garlic exons are novel active components in the garlic, which show an interesting characteristic to attenuate the inflammatory response in macrophage by accelerating the polarization of M1 to M2 phenotype. Garlic exons supplementation antagonized the inflammatory response in EWAT and the liver of HFD-fed mouse by regulating the polarization of macrophage. 3. Garlic exons improved the insulin resistance and the lipid metabolism in HFD-fed mouse, which might be associated with the role of macrophage-released inflammatory cytokines. I also give my sincere thanks for my colleagues and graduate students. This work was also supported by the grant from National Natural Science Foundation of China. Thank you. Thank you for your listening.